Welcome. This is Truck Talk, brought to you by me and inspired by Chili. If this is your first time, I'm your host, some deranged redneck that you've never met before, but that's most likely smarter than you are. Since it comes down now to two choices for who is going to lead this great nation, we've got it down to two choices: Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. That's assuming that they both stay alive until the elections in November. Elections. Elections. So let's talk about both of them while we're here. That's what this Truck Talk's all about. Now, hear me out. You can't just listen to freaking half of this and then make a comment, man. If you're going to make a comment, you got to listen to the whole thing, all right? Just yesterday, I listened to the episode with Sean Ryan on the Sean Ryan Show where he interviewed Donald Trump. Which, how cool is that, man? Sean Ryan got to interview Donald Trump. I just thought that was the freaking coolest thing, man. Good job, Sean. Good job, man. You've really created an awesome show, and you're a gifted individual. But he interviewed Donald Trump. I have some observations from that interview. See, I don't know if you guys picked up on this or not. You guys have heard me say in the past that Donald Trump is an anomaly. He's not really an anomaly. I understand why he has the popularity that he has. It's very, very clear when you listen to him speak, especially on a long-form style interview like he did with Sean. It's very, very clear. He is not that powerful in and of himself, but someone has taught him, or he has learned along the way, how to master the most powerful thing on earth, and that is his speech, or the words that he uses. I don't know if you noticed on that interview, when he talks, he won't say Kamala Harris's name. He calls her that woman. When he talks, there's never been just a good day or a bad day or a good thing or a bad thing. Everything he talks about is the worst day in the history of the country, or the best thing that ever happened to the country in the history of the country. He goes to the extreme on every topic, on every idea, on every piece of the conversation. Did you guys notice how he continuously repeats the same points that he really wants you to get? He'll say them over and over again. And did you notice also how he never talks about anything in detail, or he never talks about anything in a complex way? He simplifies every matter. Everything. You understand the reason he has the popularity he has is because he is a master manipulator of the masses. And how do you manipulate the masses? By speech. You speak to them in ways that are simple, and ways that evoke emotion in them. The absolute best, the absolute worst, the most terrible. That's how you do it. I know how to do that. There have been men in history who have also learned how to do that, and they've wielded that to achieve great good or to achieve great evil. But if you want power, you must know how to manipulate the masses, and you manipulate them by evoking emotion through speech. Donald Trump is not in and of himself a dangerous man. What makes him dangerous is the blind trust that you all give him. What makes him dangerous is the fact that you all believe that, not you all, some of you believe he's going to save our country. Do you realize how stupid you sound when you think some single man is going to save our country? You are a cowardly fool if you think that. You know who will save our country? The great men of our country united. The citizens of this country are the only thing that will eventually have to step up and save our country or preserve it. Donald Trump might buy us a little time, but you are a cowardly fool if you think one man can save our country. I blindly trust no man. I depend on no man to save me or my way of life. But many of you listening to this are part of the masses. Can't help that. It's been that way since the beginning of history, the history of all mankind. Our other choice, Kamala Harris. You know, somebody asked me the other day, well, how are you going to vote, Chad? It's part of the reason I'm having this conversation is in response to that question. I get accused a lot because I don't blindly trust Donald Trump. I get accused of being a supporter of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. So our other choice, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is maybe an American citizen, but her ideals are as far from American ideals as you can probably possibly get. As far as I know, she was raised by a Marxist father. Now, I'm no scholar on Marxism, but I know enough to know that Marxism is a political philosophy or ideology that was dreamt up by Karl Marx, which was a miserable human being. And it's in some ways similar to communism. It seeks to destroy all personal property, ownership of personal property, all class systems, all incentive to do better, to be better, to create, to build. And it is a absolutely flawed way of thinking that will shortly implode. And Marxism and its, I guess you could call close kin, communism, has been responsible for the death of more human beings over the course of human history than I believe any other thing, all wars combined, because it doesn't work. This woman is, I'm using Donald Trump language, this woman is quite obviously evil and clings to un-American ideas. And all of that being said, she is also quite obviously just a puppet. And the question is, who is controlling her? Who is controlling her? We don't know. And if you was to vote for Kamala Harris, I would go as far as to say that you probably need to be put into some sort of mental institution, and you need to be re-indoctrinated about the foundational principles that this country that you live in is founded upon. So both options are, everybody always says, we have to choose the least evil of the two evils. Well, I think that choice is quite obvious. for us right now here in the United States of America. So, if you believe that the elections are real, if I was going to vote, well, that's the choice that I would make. The lesser of two evils. I'm sorry, I'm not trusting of any human being who wants power. You understand also that all men, all humans who desire power have their own agendas, and they only know what those agendas are? Think about that. My goal in these truck talks is to make you think, man. To make you think. All of that being said, there's a strange thing happening to me personally. And I know this truck talk's longer than most, but there's a strange thing that's happening to me and has been happening over the course of the last few months. The nearer that my Father draws me to Him, the nearer that He draws me to Him, the more dull the things of this world are becoming. It's a very strange thing, and it's very subtle. It's happening, has been happening over quite a long period of time. But all the things of this world are becoming duller to me. This is coming also from a man, me. I have everything. It's just beginning to seem very dull. Even the idea of suffering is just beginning to seem dull. I don't know where it's leading. But I will continue to follow my Father and trust that He will work all good things, all things, for the betterment of His kingdom and to His own glory, even if that involves my own suffering. I can sense His realness. Do you understand that? I can sense His realness. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Again, who am I? If you got anything out of this episode, share it with somebody. If you want to support us here at 307 Project, go get you a hat, get you a t-shirt. Makes a tremendous difference in what we are able to accomplish. And as long as you guys support us here, I'll keep these truck talks coming. I'll leverage this platform to hopefully make you think. I love you guys. Nuff said.